Now, in the next example, the setup is exactly the same. But now, the government does not want to increase government spending to stimulate the economy. Instead, they want to use tax cut. So the question is, the government wants to cut tax by this amount so that they can shift aggregate demand curve to the right by 4, so that equilibrium real GDP can increase by 2. So what do we need? What we need is the multiplier effect. But which multiplier? Now the policy action is to cut tax. Therefore, what we need is lump sum tax multiplier. So what is lump sum tax multiplier? If there is no import and proportional tax, then tax multiplier is, of course, it's negative. MPC divided by 1 minus MPC. And the slope of aggregate expenditure function is equal to the slope of the consumption function, which is MPC, if there's no import. Therefore, negative MPC divided by 1 minus MPC is negative 0.75 divided by 1 minus 0.75, which is negative 3. Therefore, the tax multiplier is negative 3. So how much tax should the government cut so that they can shift aggregate demand curve by 4? The answer is 4/3. 4/3. Let me say it again. When the government cut tax by 4/3, because the multiplier is negative 3, results aggregate demand curve shift to the right by 4/3 multiplied by 3 is 4. Aggregate demand curve shift to the right by 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's from this to this. Original equilibrium is here, the same Chiron aggregate supply curve. So the new equilibrium is here. So real GDP increases by 2. The last example, let's do it again. Now, the government does not want to use government spending alone or tax policy alone. They want to conduct a balanced budget. So what is balanced budget? The government increases tax by this amount, at the same time increases government spending by exactly the same amount. What's the balanced budget multiplier? The answer is it's always equal to 1, no matter what slope of the aggregate expenditure function is. Then I can shift aggregate demand curve to the right by 4 so that I can increase real GDP by 2. Same setup. Therefore, what is this amount? The answer is 4 multiplied by 1 is 4. That is, I have to increase tax by $4 and increase government spending by $4. The government collect $4 more of tax, spend them all. Then aggregate demand curve will shift to the right by exactly 4. After that, equilibrium income goes from 16 to 18. So the answer is 4.